I think it's time you and I have a tough conversation. In 2016, my best friends took me to a food bank drive to complete our high school's community service hours. Frankly, at the time, I couldn't have cared less what the actual service was. I just wanted to get my hours done and go back to the ignorant bliss of video games and good times with friends and family. But something happened along the way that happens to many of you at home. Archimedes declared it a eureka moment. Newton found the laws of physics there, and Henry David Thoreau discovered it in a cabin by the Walden Ponds. You and I call it the purpose of life. As I looked upon this long line of needy people, I couldn't help but question everything it was I once thought about my place in this world. I saw families of 5 living in minivans, veterans with no health care, and so many poor people who were living in squalor while I lived relatively comfortably. And I had some clues from the daily news, but once you see that sort of thing up close and personal, it certainly changed my whole life. From that day forward, I knew I had to dedicate every waking moment to the protection of the civil and constitutional rights of all my fellow Americans, to ensure that regardless of race, creed, or politics, we all had a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Later, I did a family history project for my history college class. It was there I learned my Jewish great-grandfather, Michael Isaac Raiklen, fled anti-Semitic discrimination in Eastern Europe to come here, these United States, seeking that almighty American dream. My grandfather, Harold Raiklen, served in the Air Force, using his ingenuity to fight back against fascism and protect our right to a democracy. My father worked as a doctor, providing mental health care to those less fortunate. And I knew that if I stood by and did nothing about what I saw that day, I could never truly accept this gift I'd been given by my forefathers. I would have not earned this, my life. So I tried to be the change I wished to see in the world. To name just a few of those tries, I volunteered for Bernie Sanders' presidential campaigns in 2016 and 2020. I worked on a few local political campaigns in my hometown of Long Beach, California. I spoke at my city council for issues I was passionate about. In 2018, I helped organize our city's March for Our Lives chapter. And last year, I met a wonderful band of fellow Americans under Progressive Victory's Nevada House Canvassing Program. We came from online spaces across the country to turn our online passion into offline action. And it paid off. We got hundreds to show up to knock on tens of thousands of Nevadan doors to encourage them to vote in 2024. I met so many wonderful people, so much so that I moved out here to Las Vegas, Nevada. We had so many unforgettable moments, some of which I look forward to sharing with you sometime in the near future. But for years, I've wanted to keep my public presence relatively separate from my work in politics. I have friends and family who are conservative, and I didn't want them to feel ostracized from staying in touch with me, just like some of you who might be conservative who view my channel. I wanted to share fun moments and laugh with you all without politicizing that situation. Sadly, that time must pass. Unfortunately, I have to sully this channel with political commentary because many of you at home might have found your life's purpose this past afternoon. You recognize, like I do, that there's simply too much at stake. We have to start having tough conversations with the people we disagree with. I'm so saddened and shocked by the news. For those who don't know, Charlie Kirk, an outspoken and controversial conservative political organizer, has been assassinated. It was a terrible act of violence. I really don't recommend that anybody go and watch the video because it's very not safe for work, very graphic. But the reality is that it's happened. And we're all trying to find a way to explain and struggle with that reality. One of those unforgettable moments from my time at Progressive Victory was when I had the privilege to have a discussion with Charlie Kirk and now Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard at one of the public forum events at University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I got to share my views, he got to share his views. It was a very respectful dialogue. For those who want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the comments. But I was hoping that even though I'm just one person, that perhaps my dialogue could be an example for others to have in their own private conversations, to show that you don't have to be angry at the other side. You don't have to be blinded by rage. You can try to work out some sort of compromise in life and find a way to move forward. At the end of the day, regardless of how you feel about Charlie Kirk and his opinions, he was many things that both sides are: a husband, a father, an American, and someone who is passionate about making this country better. Obviously, I disagree with a lot of what he said, and there's going to be a lot of soul searching these next couple weeks about how we got here. But please, anybody who's liberal like me, do not get violent, don't get angry with other conservatives right now, because it's just going to stoke the flames and make things worse. We don't want more people getting hurt. We don't want more violence. And it's a shame that this happened in public. A killing like that's so brutal. So many people are traumatized by that situation. Those people who were simply trying to have an open dialogue about their views in politics. Now, their lives are changed forever. And I hope that this can be a moment of reflection, a chance to heal the divide and work towards bipartisan efforts like reducing gun violence and expanding access to college for anyone willing and able to pursue that almighty dream. But I recognize that's easier said than done. So my advice, reach out to other people on the other side that you may know in your circle, a family member or a friend who you heard their political views and you said, oh, because they're the other side, I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to talk with them anymore. Maybe reach out to them today and say, hey, how you doing? I hope you're doing okay. Because they're human, just like Charlie Kirk was, regardless of their political opinions. But I also understand there are some people's views who are more objectionable than others. That shouldn't matter in this moment. In this moment right now, we as Americans need to come together and heal. Only time will tell what Charlie Kirk's death will mean in the long run. What I do know is that I will be working very hard with my coalition of folks in my circle to try and build a coalition of those who encourage free speech advocacy, voting rights advocacy, and much more. This is something I'm incredibly passionate about. I want to let people know that they have those rights regardless of if they agree with my political views or not. Everyone has the right to speak their mind. Everyone has the right to vote their conscience. Just because you disagree with how that gets implemented should not result in people getting killed or people getting violent. Remember what I said in my last video, and I paraphrase a quote from Voltaire: I may disagree with your opinion, but I will fight until death for your right to express it. No one should wish death upon anybody, but Charlie Kirk died, and it's a tragic situation. So that quote is more true now than ever before. I don't respect the views of Charlie Kirk, by and large, but I do respect his right to share it. And I hope that's a sentiment that all of you at home share as well. My deepest condolences to the Kirk family. I, like many of you, are hoping that they recover, and we're all wishing that it's a speedy recovery. And I hope that you will express those thoughts of caring and kindness to that family in this trying time. Thanks, guys, for listening and watching. Really appreciate it. And remember, vote early, vote often, and manifest your democracy. Take care.